Hello everyone, and welcome back or welcome to a fantastic school year in the Cave Creek Unified School District. We thank you for your service and appreciate everything you do. We want to give you some information here at the very beginning of the year to help you through the teacher evaluation process, and hopefully we're going to make it a little bit easier for you this year. Randy has some information that he will share with you about specifics of the documents and the timelines. More importantly, we want to recognize effective teaching and the great job you are doing each day in the classroom. We know that the number one factor for student achievement is having great teachers in front of our students every single day. Cave Creek is blessed to have great teachers. I want to say thank you for everything you do for our students, welcome you back, and now let's get started with the process. Thank you.
I'm sure you have questions about how teachers will be evaluated this year. It is ultimately our goal to make the evaluation process meaningful, fair, and straightforward. With that in mind, I should advise you that several elements of the evaluation are prescribed by the Arizona Legislature and the Department of Education. I will try to call attention to some of the state's non-negotiables as we walk through the documents. That said, there are aspects of the evaluation that we can change or at least simplify. The Evaluation Committee has agreed upon changes this year that we believe will mean less work for you and for your principal. In the past, we've had the teacher evaluation, the professional growth plan for Prop 301 money, and the retention rubric, 3 documents. This year, with your formal support, we can potentially eliminate 2 of the 3 documents. Toward the end of this presentation, I will explain how you can ratify these changes. I will also explain how you can earn an extra $1,000 through a process separate from the evaluation. In the meantime, let's walk through the evaluation tools and documents we intend to adopt this year. Our teacher evaluation documents are derived from 3 sources: the Arizona Revised Statutes, the Arizona Department of Education's Framework for Evaluation, and it also uses Charlotte Danielson's Framework for Teaching. By adding the Professional Responsibilities section, or Core Practice 4, to the evaluation instrument, we effectively capture the most critical elements of the retention rubric, also known as the RIF rubric, which in turn allows us to eliminate the retention rubric completely. We also have an opportunity to eliminate a second set of documents. Before I talk about the documents, I feel compelled to give you some background. Proposition 301 was a law passed by the voters to allocate some sales tax revenue to teachers. These funds, known as classroom site funds, appear in your contract. One of the funds, known as Pay for Performance, is paid as a lump sum at the end of every year. This year, it was paid out at about $1,300. To date, you have earned your Pay for Performance money by completing the Professional Growth Plan, which involves setting goals and reflecting upon them twice each year. The legislature recently decided that the Prop 301 Pay for Performance money should be tied to the Teacher Performance Evaluation score no later than 2014. By adopting this practice now, we can eliminate the Performance Growth Plan, the goals, immediately. The change, however, requires the teachers to ratify that plan. In the absence of goals and reflections, the steps in the evaluation process and timeline are dramatically reduced. Arizona law requires that every teacher must receive at least 2 uninterrupted formal observations per year. There must be 60 days, at least, between them, and you must receive written feedback for both. Hence, every teacher receives an evaluation following an observation. It is perhaps important to point out that nothing I have discussed so far, or will discuss today, is related to Career Ladder. Career Ladder is a process managed by teachers outside the evaluation process managed by the district. For Career Ladder participants, your direction about Career Ladder will come from the Career Ladder Committee. We are now going to shift our focus toward the actual evaluation documents. For purposes of evaluation, the state clusters teachers into 2 groups, cleverly called Group A and Group B. Group A teachers are teachers who teach students whose achievement can be measured and compared through standardized or otherwise valid achievement tests, such as AIMS, Stanford 10, and district benchmarks. A few teachers at CCUSD have adopted other common assessments approved by their principals, making them eligible to be in Group A. All other teachers, including music, PE, kindergarten, special education, etc., are in Group B category. For more specific information about Group A and Group B teachers, please go to the Department of Education's website and click on the Teachers Evaluation Framework icon. The biggest practical difference between Group A and Group B teachers is how student data is assessed and weighted in the evaluation instrument. For Group A teachers, the state stipulates that 33% to 50% of the teacher's overall evaluation score must be tied to classroom-level data. That is, quantitative evidence of student achievement and/or growth. The evaluation committee, which is comprised of representatives from every school, has opted to assign the lesser amount, which is 33% of the score, to classroom-level data, Core Practice 5, and 17% to school-level data, which is Core Practice 6. For Group B teachers, the scoring mechanism is reversed. The state stipulates that 33% to 50% of the teacher's overall evaluation score for a Group B teacher must be tied to school-level data. The evaluation committee, in this case, has opted to assign 17% of the score for a Group B teacher to classroom-level data and 33% to school-level data. The legislature was surprisingly prescriptive in stipulating that every teacher in the state must be annually ranked in one of four categories: highly effective, effective, developing, and ineffective, which corresponds to scores numbered 4 through 1, respectively, on our score sheet. The evaluation rubric, which is not to be confused with the retention rubric, is a detailed document that defines the criteria for achieving a particular ranking in each category within the 6 core practices. Core practices 1 through 4 are generally consistent with the Danielson framework. This year's rubric additionally lists examples of behavior and/or actions that would warrant a particular rating. In the interest of time, I won't walk through the entire rubric with you, but I strongly encourage you to read through it at your leisure. I previously mentioned that teachers will receive 2 evaluations per year. For reporting purposes and for compensation purposes, the first evaluation will not count. Think of the first evaluation as a baseline from which to make adjustments and/or improvements in the future. Unless a teacher is on an improvement plan or had deficiencies cited early in the year, the final evaluation of the year will be the only evaluation that includes a summative ranking of highly effective, effective, developing, or ineffective. Philosophically, the district wants teachers to perform at the effective and highly effective levels, and the vast majority of district teachers, in fact, do. The overall summative ranking will not necessarily correspond to the cumulative average of the scores in each individual category. In fact, an ineffective rating in any category on the final evaluation will yield a summative ranking of ineffective. A developing rating in 1 or 2 individual categories will yield a summative ranking of developing. A developing rating in 3 or more individual categories will yield a summative ranking of ineffective for any teacher who is not a rookie or new to his or her subject area. A teacher will receive a summative rating of highly effective if he or she is rated as highly effective in at least 12 of 17 categories. Apart from the evaluation process, the district is offering teachers a way to earn an extra $1,000, which was negotiated in IBN this year. The $1,000 lump sum will be paid at the end of the year and will be based on a school-wide goal. In this case, the $1,000 reward will be tied to the school's collective achievement of regarding the technology integration matrix, or TIM. This is an all or nothing goal that your principals can explain more about. Earlier in this presentation, I advised you that you would be given an opportunity to ratify changes in our Proposition 301 Pay for Performance Plan. In order for you to make an informed decision, I want to explain the implications and potential stakes of your vote. A recent change in Arizona law requires districts to tie the 301 money to the actual teacher evaluation instrument and score by the 2014-2015 school year. To change the plan, the original Proposition 301 required teachers to ratify changes. The old provision has not changed. Essentially, we are being told that we have to change our evaluation and the way that 301 money is paid, while at the same time, 70% of you have to approve it. Let me tell you what happens now. There are currently two ways that a teacher can miss out on his or her pay for performance payment at the end of the year. The most common reason a teacher will not receive pay for performance money is because he or she has missed most of the year due to a leave of absence and was consequently unable to complete the goals defined by the Professional Growth Plan, or PGP. The second way a teacher may currently be passed over for pay for performance money is if the teacher is on a performance improvement plan, which is most often triggered by an overall rating of ineffective from the evaluation. The proposed change would eliminate the professional growth plan requirement and focus exclusively on the overall evaluation rating. Those receiving effective and highly effective ratings overall would receive 100% of the 301 lump sum at the end of the year. Those who receive an overall rating of ineffective would receive no lump sum, which is essentially what happens today. Teachers who receive an overall rating of developing would be eligible for 50% of the lump sum. So, what happens if you do not ratify the proposed change? In the upcoming school year, the 2013-2014 school year, we would have to retain the professional growth plan for you to receive the 301 money at year's end. For the 2014-2015 school year, however, the effective date of the revised statute, which links 301 to the evaluation score, a failure to ratify the proposed change by then would mean that teachers would not receive the lump sum at all. At the end of this presentation, your principal will explain how you can vote today.
We hope this information has been helpful for you this year. We wish you the best of luck and have a great school year. Thank you for all that you do.